Yo, what's up, people? It's your buddy, Mr. Pogs here, doing my things I usually do. And follow my Instagram. It's private, but it's Mr. Pogs. You can go follow it. Is that the name? Hold on, I don't use Instagram that much, but let me go make sure. Is it just Mr. Pogs? Yeah, it's Mr. Pogs. So Instagram.com/Mr. Pogs. About 14,000 followers. My neck hurt from sleeping wrong, but I want to talk really quick about, and I guess this does deal with the adult business, and I'm going to call this one passing the plug. And I want to speak about this because this is something I think I did one time, two times, but one time it really paid off for that person. And it's something Dame Dash mentions a lot. And I got to make more videos about Dame Dash, but this one is about the adult business. So basically, I was here around 2019, I guess. My business was doing exceedingly well. At that time, we were bringing in about $250,000 every year. But because I was just doing like twerk videos, half of that kind of went to the models. So for me, which was still really good, especially living in Russia, I was getting about $130,000 a year in my pocket, and the rest of it, went to the girls, or whatever. But still, a quarter of a million a year ain't bad. And of course, over the span of how long I've been doing this for real, like 8 years, we made a few $1,000,000 that came in to the business as a whole. But doesn't mean I have $1,000,000 in my pocket or in the bank account, because I don't. That's my ultimate goal. But we brought in a few $1,000,000. Like Patreon can vouch for that. So we've been doing pretty well. And I'm the type of person, like, I'm not trying to say I'm a good or bad person. I never try to rate myself good or bad, because I try to be realistic. And good or bad are really just, it's your opinion. A lot of people see things as good. A lot of people see things as bad. But I'm going to just give it as realistic as I can, not based on opinion and based on what actually happened. So one thing about me is, if you're a friend and if you're close to me, I'm very informative. I'm extremely informative. Like, even though I'm not trying to get people to be in my business, I explain what's happening in my business, what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, because maybe it'll give them ideas for the business that they're in, or the job they have, or the creative things they do. So the reason why I think that works is because my biggest inspiration in this business doesn't even come from other adult videos. It comes from music. And I know that sounds weird, but it completely comes from music. It comes from music producers like Havoc, Alchemist, Dr. Dre, Wheezy. Like, it comes from them. Like, when I hear a crazy beat and I think, like, damn, like, how did they think of this? Like, the most inspirational beat of all time for me is Shook Ones. And not even just because it sounds really good, but how the fuck that shit was made. Just YouTube the making of Shook Ones Part 2. Just look up the making of Shook Ones Part 2. And the way he took all those sounds from all those different songs and movie themes, you could never, like, just hear any of those sounds individually and be like, yeah, that's from Shook Ones. No, it only makes sense when you put it all together. And Wheezy, he's my favorite producer now, not just because his stuff, like, you can't hear another song and hear it in his song, because you can, because he's like Dr. Dre. Like, they just take a beat from somewhere else and kind of change it a little bit and make it sound good. But the thing with Wheezy beats are, he could take a beat and add, like change it a little bit, and then, like, add a sound to it, and it just makes it like the best beat ever. Like, my favorite example with Wheezy is Yes Indeed. The making of Yes Indeed, like, I watched that video like 100 times, and I'm trying to channel the inner creativity that he had, because he had a beat, and he was like, oh, this beat ain't so special. It ain't so special. Like, he didn't really know if he was doing the right thing, and then he fucking adds one sound, and it's called the Midnight Flute, and it's just like one of the best instrumentals I ever heard from adding one sound. And I'm like, yo, that shit is crazy how it works like that. Like, what's my one sound? Like, the sound he used was called the Midnight Flute. And when I started my business, my goal was to find my Midnight Flute, which is basically that one girl who can help blow my business up and get me a lot of money. And that one girl was Asian Goddess. Also Riancia. Also Akira. And, MILF 3.0. But these girls, like, out of the 100 I film with, maybe 6 girls are responsible for 50% of the income. Those are my Midnight Flutes, so yeah, so you guys get the point. So The first time I ever passed a plug, at least from what I remember, because I don't really like dudes. I don't fuck with dudes much, because they have egos and you know, a lot of times they're full of shit. But I had two friends. I'm just say tall and short. I had two friends in Russia, and I was cool with these guys. And I had tall and short come over my house one day, and I was like, "Yo, you guys want me to show you how I make money?" Because at the time they weren't doing any business like me. Short had a business, so he was making some money. Tall had a job, and he didn't like his job. He was making like maybe a tenth of what I was making. He was making money like a Russian person. He didn't like his situation. So for no reason, just no one asked, for no fucking reason, I literally brought them upstairs to my duplex because I had two floors in my apartment. I had, I always talk about it, but I had a duplex in the center of the city, roof access, jacuzzi. Like, it was one of the best apartments you could get in the city. And I still had two apartments at that time. I was just balling. And so I brought them upstairs and I was like, yo, look, this is what I do and this is how I do it. And like for an hour, they just sat there with their mouths open, pause. And I'm just literally showing them everything I do, how I do it. Now, of course, my business has changed since then. Back then, it was just twerk. Now it's XXX as well. But I was just showing them everything. I just taught them everything. Like this, do this, do this, do that, do that. And that's how I do it. And they're like, get the fuck out of here, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, because Tall really didn't like his situation. He's a white dude. I gotta say that kind of for a reason, and I'll say why later. But he's a white American dude. Tall took down everything I told him, wrote it all down, got it all locked in his head, did his own research, started his own business, and I would say within like 2 years, he was bringing in as much or more money than me. He quit all his jobs. Now the business kind of went under because YouTube's tripping. So now he's thinking about getting a normal job. But I would say for a good 3 years, he was making as much or more money than me. Getting plaques and shit from YouTube, from shit I taught him. So it went from me like maybe doing something for him, like advertising something. Within 2-3 years of showing him, I'm asking him like, hey, can you advertise this for me? And he took that initiative, he took that intel and he ran with it. And he made something out of it. And there was never a day in my life or a moment in my life where I was like, he owes me something. Never. He doesn't owe me shit. If he wants to advertise for me, he can. If he doesn't want to, it's fine. That's his business. He put in the work. He was teaching me. After a few years of doing his thing, he was teaching me. You know what I mean? He was literally teaching me shit. Because the thing about Tall is like, he'll read everything. He's the type of person that I guess when you play a video game, you know how they give you the disclaimer? He'll read the whole shit. Like, that's the kind of person he is. Like, he studies, he focuses, he has goals, he's determined. Like, he don't play no games. Like, he went all in on that shit. And I was extremely impressed by what he was able to do. Now, I think kind of the downfall of his business wasn't really too much his fault. It's more of the algorithm and how YouTube is modeling his business, which is kind of unfortunate for him. But luckily for me, because I didn't see it coming, I got out of the business he was kind of in, and I started doing the XXX, and things are fine for me. They're still fine. I'm still making money like I always have, and things are pretty good. But that was an extremely impressive run, which started with the intel I gave him. Then, of course, he went out, did his own thing, got intel from other people, but it started with that meeting in my apartment. It started right there. I remember I probably sold and or gave them Twitter pages to use, and I did advertising. Like, I was really helping Tall and Short. I was really doing my thing. And Tall, he did his thing, and now Short is getting into the XXX. And I think he's going to start working with some girls from South America. And I think he's going to do well if he just sticks to it. And if the girls he got are trustworthy, he's going to do great. Because I can easily advertise anything XXX. So, man, that's really it, guys. That is the one time I passed a plug and dude just ran off with it. He just ran off with it. And I just think that when you get intel from people, even if you're not in the same business, you should take that intel and try to incorporate it into what you're doing. Now, one problem some people have, like when I tell them things I did to get to where I am, they try to do the same thing. That doesn't really work, because what people usually don't take into account is things were different at the time in which I did it. So like how I started my business back in the day when I was getting the twerk models, I was just writing them on Instagram, opening Patreon pages for them and advertising them. That doesn't really work so well nowadays unless you have like a huge audience, because since COVID, everyone knows how to make money online now. When I was doing it, they thought it was impossible to make money over twerk videos. Most girls literally thought it was impossible. And I was like, let me do it. Like, my favorite story is with my biggest model to this day. We've been working together for what, 7 years, 8 years? Julia Cole, the Russian Paul Queen. When I first wrote her, and I'm happy she read it. No, I had connections to connect me to her, but when I first told her, hey, I will pay you, I think it was like what, $200? You make 5 twerk videos for me. I make a Patreon and I sell those videos, and I'll show you how much those videos made. I sent her the 200. She sent me 5 videos. The first month we made $1,000. We never stopped. We never stopped. Then it was just 50-50 split, and we've been working together ever since. And those videos, older ones, make money too, because you could just resell them because not everyone saw them. So it's like, if she could literally stop working for 3 years, like I told her, she could have a baby, she could get pregnant. We'll just sell the old stuff. Not everyone saw it. We have over, what, 500 videos? Then we'll just sell the old stuff. So it's a beautiful business. It's a very good passive income. And I mean, right now, because I'm the only owner of my business, right now I'm running, I came up with the number, I think it's 22 paid pages, like pages that make money monthly. 22 of them I'm running by myself. That includes Patreon, OnlyFans, Fansly, Loyal Fans, Fap House, P Hub, X Hamster, and like all of them are bringing in money, mostly passive. OnlyFans, whatever. If I said it, I don't remember, but 23 of these in total, and it's just me. Now, of course, with the Patreon, if it's a twerk model, I split that 50-50, but everything else is just me. The models I work with, when XXX, they get paid one time, that's it. Then the rest is just me. So I teach people these things. And, but I'm going to tell you something. Why I mentioned that tall is white is because I do notice, like, when I talk to, the thing with the Black American mentality on average is that we're fucking lazy as shit on average. I'm just being real. We're just lazy. And we're really pleasure seekers. We don't really look for tomorrow. And this is very common. And I kind of got used to it. But I think once in a while, I try to get my friends kind of out of that mode of just being, pleasure seekers and just living day to day. Because life will be way more interesting, much easier, more fun when you take extra steps to get more, than you have more options in life. It's really pretty awesome, and you won't really know it till you experience it. And once you experience it, you want to keep wanting it. And as long as you have some inspiration in your life, like a good wife or kids are probably the biggest inspiration. That'll give you that battery to keep going hard and getting more. Yeah, it'll give you that battery. When you think of that person's face or whatever it is, whatever it may be, it keeps you going. That shit will keep you going. But when there's really no one to look out for, it's a little different. And I mean, but the thing is, some people could be really happy with that. It depends on who you are. Some people could be alone all the time, be really happy with it, or have a normal life with a wife and play video games all the time and be happy with it. That's fine. I'm not saying anything's wrong. But I just think sometimes these people don't realize that taking that extra step and getting those extra things in life, not only is it better for you in general, but it'll be a great safety net if things go wrong with your current situation. Like, that's very important to understand. If things go wrong with your current situation, because there have been situations I've been in that were really fucked up, but I had a good amount of extra money, so it wasn't that bad at all. My craziest example was, and anyone could do this, it wasn't that much money, but one time me and my wife traveled to Argentina, and we were supposed to go to the fucking Airbnb, and some reason we weren't registered there, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, cold outside, freezing cold. We weren't able to be let in the building because it was like an upscale building and we weren't on the list. Long story short, we couldn't go there that night. I just took her to the Hilton, and we had a nice night in the Hilton, hung out, went to sleep, ate nice food and whatever, and we were going the next day to a different Airbnb, and I got my refund. Now, if I didn't have money, like a good cushiony amount of extra money, I wouldn't have been able to get the Hilton to make her have fun and kind of forget about the crap that happened. I wouldn't have been able to get another Airbnb instead instantly, and then wait like 3 days to get the refund for the other one because I had that cushion. So let's say you're married to someone and you kind of rely on each other for financial support. things go wrong, she leaves you. I don't know if the house is hers or not. What are you going to do? People don't realize how close they are to being homeless when they don't have extra money. They don't realize how close they are to being homeless when they don't have extra money, especially if you're living in someone else's place. They don't realize it takes one argument and your ass is homeless. A lot of people don't realize that shit. A lot of people don't realize that. Usually, it's not usually instantly homeless. Usually go crash on someone's couch, but when you're a grown man and you're living on someone else's dime, you're not that far from being homeless. Do not forget that shit. That is real shit. You're not far from being homeless when you're living in someone else's place. You're not on no lease, nothing. You're not that far from it. You're a grown ass man. You're gonna want those extra cushions in life. Trust me, it's worth it. You're gonna want to feel accomplished on your deathbed. So yeah, that's basically it. That's just how I feel. Let me know what you guys think.